know, they say we see everything once in this gig. Pretty sure we've never seen this.
Do you think they need help?
Synchronic. Man, I had a rough day today. Terrible night of sleep last night. I don't know if it was the beer belly or I also watched a scary fucking movie on my phone last night. We'll get into that on another review, but that had me sleeping with the light on as a 27-year-old adult. But that's neither here nor there. We're here tonight to review Synchronic. And I was so stoked to see that this movie had dropped on Netflix. It's from two of my favorite directors. They're Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. I saw their movies. I think it was Resolution and The Endless were such good, those sci-fi mind benders. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Stella Artois, obviously. Great sponsor of the show here. This movie was going to come out, it was slated to come out, I think, during the pandemic, but since obviously COVID hit, the guys decided to push it off. So I had heard about this movie, I think, God, all the way back maybe in early 2020, late 2019, I was already so hyped for it. And then obviously COVID took it off the shelf for a while, and so it just made my day to see that there, front page of Netflix, Synchronic, let's go. Synchronic was awesome and definitely well worth the wait. Man, it really was awesome to take my mind off of things. I accidentally stepped on my dog's paw today when I was leaving the house, and shit, does that make you reconsider your purpose and your morality on Earth. Oh my God, still guilt tripping hard. But this movie was a nice mental escape from that, because man, you got to be honed in on this and focused, because a lot goes on in this movie. So let's begin. It starts in New Orleans. Anthony Mackie and his partner are EMTs in a real gritty part of town. You know, the movie opens with they're going to overdoses, just real shifty characters, looks like crack houses and stuff like that. And in one of the very first scenes, God, talk about lifelong nightmare fuel. Anthony Mackie accidentally, he's trying to resuscitate someone that looks like they've gone over from a heroin overdose, and a needle just sticks right into his hand. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, so that already had me sweating from, that was the first scene. So, they're pretty much follows them tracking through these, strange deaths, in kind of seedy areas, but the one thing that links them all together is they're finding these packets that say Synchronic on them. They look like little drug packets. So they're trying to figure out what's going on here with that and connecting the dots there. And while all that's going on, you know, while the story's unfolding, I gotta say, the fucking soundtrack, the camera angles, just the overall atmosphere of this movie is awesome. I mean, Benson and Moorhead do a great job. The soundtrack's just dark and ominous. The camera's always moving, always keeping you on edge. It never stops and focuses on one character. It's always moving, shifting from person to person, always keeping your eyes moving. Really, really engages you in the movie from the get-go. Early on, you figure out Anthony Mackie's character is a pretty beaten down dude. These guys are working crazy hours. They're sleeping in I think it's like the gurney when, you know, they're on their off hours. It's a rough job. It's a rough life. And Anthony Mackie's single. You could tell he's kind of contemplating his existence and the point of everything, while his partner is married and has an older daughter. And she will come into serious play as the plot continues to unfold. So Maggie soon figures out he has a brain tumor, and so he really kind of goes off the deep end with some drinking, drug use, to the aggravation of his partner.
You all right?
I'm fine.
The bad news is it's inoperable and never start you on radiation.
I'm fine.
And all the while, these strange deaths continue to happen, and they keep finding the synchronic stuff. So it really comes to a head when his partner's daughter that I just mentioned goes missing.
I'd do anything to get her back, but the next dose could kill you.
And what they find is just an empty chair and that Synchronic packet. So, of course, the partner freaks out and starts, printing out missing persons flyers and all that. And Mackie takes this on himself to track down this Synchronic drug. And that leads him to some sort of kind of smoke shop with a girl at the counter vaping. I mean, you know the one. Just your local head shop. He buys out what they have of the Synchronic left, and so anyways, with those newly purchased Synchronic packets, Anthony Mackie starts testing it for himself.
I want to know that there's meaning in the things I do.
He's curious what this is all about, and he's especially curious on if it can give him any insight onto where his partner's daughter went. So he takes it, and he quickly has an insane trip. He finds himself in a swampland, and there's an alligator coming at him, and it's like right where he was standing when it kicked in, it all just turned into a swampland, and a knight with armor comes running at him with a sword, and right when the guy's about to stab him with a sword, Anthony Mackie wakes up on his couch. So this spirals into him experimenting with the drug and learning more about it, and he kind of figures out the ground rules of the drug, and basically what it does is it takes you back in time. So wherever you're at, it takes you back to a certain period of time at that exact place.
If you're watching this, I'm probably trying to convince you of something pretty unbelievable, or I'm dead.
So it takes him back to a variety of different times. One is like the height of racism in the South, and there's Ku Klux Klan members. God, fucking tongue twister. Don't say that 5 times fast. He's being chased by them. Another one takes him back to like the Mesopotamic area. Is that a era? Oh my God. Blame Estella. But they're taking him back like hundreds of years and then thousands of years, just fucking all over the place. Crazy drug. But the things that he finds out, such as you get a certain amount of time, he sets his watch every time because you have to be back at where you started the trip to make it back to the present day, or else you'll get stuck there if you don't make it back in time, which is key as this movie continues to go. So with these ground rules in place, he starts to hone in on where did his partner's daughter go missing when she took Synchronic, because it's obvious that she took it, she didn't know that she needed to make it back to the same place, and she's stuck in the past. So he also starts trying to see if he can take things back with him. So he brings his dog on one of the trips, and he doesn't end up getting his dog back, but he realizes that you actually can, if you have it clutched to your person, take things with you and back with you in time. So his plan, and he tells his partner all about this, he's gonna get the guy's daughter back using this Synchronic drug, which made her go missing. The problem is he's running out of them. I think by the time he's going to track her down, he only has like 3 of them left, so like 3 trips left. And it really ramps up in intensity because he goes to the place. It's like a chair she was sitting on at a friend's house where it's thought that she went missing. He goes on a trip there, almost gets killed by these, I don't even know, what are the cannibals or something? I'm not really sure. But they fucking chase him down. And then he finds out, no, she wasn't even sitting there when that happened, from her friend. So he's all pissed off, and then they figure out where the place was. It was by the water with the view of the city. Coincidentally, the only place you see her in the movie before that. So he ends up taking the pill.
The clock keeps ticking down.
Going back, finding her. It's like during the Civil War, I want to say, or something like that. And then, really crazy scene. She's like in one of the trenches, in the wars. So there's trenches. She's like under some dead bodies, hiding. He gets her, and he's trying to take her back to the starting point so they can get back to the present day. And it's so sad because they're on their way there, and Anthony Mackie, a black guy, gets confronted by this white guy who's saying he wants to make him his slave or something, and they have this big back and forth, and all the while he's just telling the girl to go and he'll catch up, and lo and behold, doesn't catch up. Really fucking sad ending. Almost shed some man tears there in the end. But yeah, the flip side of it though is the daughter is reunited with his partner, and Anthony Mackie, his closure that he saved her. So in that essence, it's a good ending there, but it is such a great movie. Like, it is a wild ride. You really don't know where it's going. It starts out with such mystery and intrigue, where you're finding the overdoses with the Synchronic packets, and he's going back and forth in time. It's crazy. Like, it's such a fucking unique and complex plot. I mean, Benson and Moorhead, the directors and producers, they're on the next level with this one. It was one of the most original movies I've ever seen, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. With that, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.